If you're not already on the LinkedIn page, go there now. It's brand new, just like a week ago. Here's the link. Go over there, and that's going to be sort of our place to post updates and events and what's going on. Get one up to date. We are the session this morning. We discussed having little chapter update meetings every once in a while. Next one being late April, and probably about 2 times a semester. Just get together like this. And we had a whole bunch. Jason, how many do we have total on the meeting this morning?
I think it was over 24, maybe around 25-ish.
Yeah, so great meeting this morning. Just chapter advice. Just how do you get students to join during COVID? How do you keep engaged on the calls and fundraising during COVID? There was some really interesting things about fundraising through Bitcoin. And so some really great ideas from a variety of chapters, officers, student officers and advisors around the call. But the LinkedIn page is where we'll announce the next meeting. We're thinking twice a semester. It's gone so well so far. We had a first meeting 2 weeks ago with just the student presidents and officers just talk on their own without the advisors. That went so well. We followed up this morning with advisors and student officers. And it looks like we're going to follow up again in late April, and then probably again sort of beginning of school year in the fall. We're sort of deciding whether to meet maybe 4 classes start so people can get ready for recruiting, or maybe the first or second week. Pros and cons both ways. But yeah, sign up for LinkedIn. Right now it's still moderated, and I'll approve you as soon as we get off this call. I'll go ahead and approve you on that membership. And then today I want to go over why to apply for the chapter award, how to apply, and when to apply, which is, as you can see, April 15th is deadline. Let me give you the link to the application. I'll paste it here in the chat. There you go. So while you're downloading that, let me just quickly go over why to apply. I've found it extremely helpful to be able to go back to my dean and say, look, we're an award-winning chapter. We need to go to the conference and defend our chapter, defend our status, our trophy. And it gives students something to add to their resume. It sort of identifies you and confirms that you have a live, valid chapter. You're actually doing things and helping students with their careers. As you'll see, the point system also helps me just manage the chapter, because when students come up with ideas that don't have any point value toward the award, let's spend our efforts someplace more productive. And when they do, there's always participation points. How many members actually showed up? So it helps to encourage more members to show up when we can say, hey, you're helping us toward the award. We also tie it in to who's going on the trip. We never have enough money to send everybody to the conference. So those who have put the most points into getting toward the award have the first right to go to the conference. So it really helps me with chapter management. So let's look at, let me see if I can switch over to here. Okay. So on the USITCC homepage, it's just usitcc.com. Way down at the bottom, you will find information about the Student Organization Award. And if you'll click that last link, it'll take you to the next page and has some more information for you. There you go. I assume you can all see this, right? So this page talks about a little about the award, and it has a link. The email to submit your application and the link to the actual application worksheet. So we're going to click on that. And I guess click again. Okay. Download it and open it. And there you have it. So if you're familiar with the old chapter awards program with under AITP, it's very similar, but the application process is a whole lot easier. You might remember the old Word documents. You had to fill in and type all this stuff and try to figure out where things fit and go between pages to figure out how to fit things in and activities. We've simplified everything. Very similar, but much simplified. So on the first page, let's go to the first page, instructions. All the instructions, rules, procedures are all right here, okay? And then the certification letters, next tab. I'll let you read through the rules on your own. Certification letter, you're gonna fill in the yellow boxes here. So your school, your organization name, the student president's name, email, the advisor's name, email, the year of the award be 2021. And then you're gonna fill in, I'll show you how this works. The gray boxes, I can't even click on those. Only the yellow boxes can be clicked on. And normally you need to get a minimum number of points in each category. So you got membership category here, then you got some goals. Normally, under normal circumstances, non-COVID circumstances, you need a minimum number of points. This year, as you can see, big bold letters here, for 2021, all minimum requirements will be relaxed due to COVID-19. Everything will be up to the judge's discretion. So go ahead and apply. Even if you don't have the minimum points, go ahead and apply. We understand things are screwy this year. There are no minimums this year. It's completely the judge's discretion, and I trust them to make good decisions. The awards are in 3 categories. The first is the model chapter. Normally that would mean you met the minimum requirements. This year, there are no, those minimums are being relaxed. Just submit something. Then the next tier up, if you've gone well above and beyond the model requirements, that's the premier chapter. And you can see on Jason's and Sloan's backgrounds, you can see they've got a badge up in the right-hand corner. That's the indication that the Ball chapter won the premier chapter award last year, as did I think 5 other chapters. And then at the judge's discretion, and there was no winner last year, no #1 national winner last year, completely judge's discretion. If they find one chapter that really was outstanding, they will award a national chapter award. So back to the spreadsheet. You're going to enter your prior year membership. Let's say that was, say, 25. If my keyboard will work. So apparently I can't type in here what I'm sharing. That's interesting. Well, that poses a little problem. I was going to enter examples for you.
I think if you click on enable editing at the top there, Fred.
Got it. Thanks, Jason. Yes. So prior year, let's say you had 25 members. Prior year, December 31st, and this is January 1st, January 1st. This year, let's say you've got 30. You have met 150% of your goal. The goal is to maintain 80% of your membership year to year. You find the chapters tend to roller coaster. You know, all the seniors graduate and you're left with 2 people. So really trying to encourage everybody to recruit younger students, stabilize those numbers, and maintain 80% year to year. Again, there is no minimum this year, judge's discretion entirely. All these gray boxes are going to be filled in later automatically. You're going to fill in the whatever office in your campus. We don't have AITP anymore to be overseeing everything. So whatever office on your campus oversees student organizations, enter that office and the person in charge, their email. We just want to be able to check, make sure that you're actually still a valid organization and doing what you need to do to maintain status on campus. These numbers are going to update automatically. I'm going to show you how. You're going to switch to the next tab is the meetings tab. And we've included examples, spreadsheet, automatic calculation, everything's done for you. So you enter the date, let's say March 30th, 2020. You had, let's say, guest speaker. Enter their name, their company, a little bit about them. Was there an announcement before the meeting? Did you send out an email? Did you have a web page that announced the speaker before the meeting? 3 points for doing that. Number of people at the meeting, number of members and guests. We already said you had like what, 25 members or so. Let's say 20 of them showed up. You had a couple of people who were considering membership. Let's say 3 people as guests. That automatically enters the 5 for the meeting points so far. And then 5 points if it was an industry-related educational content provided asynchronously, and 10 points if it was synchronous or live. Let's say this was synchronous. We get 10 points. We say yes. It was synchronous. Were there some kind of summary or notes or recap sent out to your members? If yes, you get 2 points for that. That meeting alone had 41.5 points right here on the side. As you go, it'll update this number in the upper right-hand corner. It also updates the number way down here at the bottom. So far, I've had 1 meeting for a total of 41.5 points. This red total is just so you don't have to scroll down every time. So it's that easy. We've got a couple of examples of what to enter here in the red. It really is that easy. Once you start entering things, you go back to the certification letter tab here, that purple tab, and you'll see it has started to update things for you. Your required room is 120. Your actual earned right now is 41.5. You're still 78 points under your goal. So let's go back to meetings, and let's say we have a bunch more meetings and a bunch more guest speakers. Each of them had an announcement before. Let's enter some attendance points here. So sometimes we had some guests, sometimes we didn't. Okay. Some of them were synchronous, a couple of them were asynchronous. Okay. We're up to 279 points total already, 7 meetings. The certification letter reflects, it even turned green for you. You met your goal, you're doing well. And all these tabs do the same thing. It'll update right there for you so you can see how you're going. It really, to be honest, I find that most of these categories are fairly easy. The challenge is to get all the categories. So let's go over to events. We've got some examples for you. Events are things that are outside of regularly scheduled chapter meetings. If you have a public event or do some kind of something for another organization, for example. So over here, you're getting 5 points for presenting an educational program prepared by others, such as online conferences, webinars, videos. You get 10 points if it's a presentation of educational program developed and planned by the student chapter. They'd plan it and put it on themselves. And 5 points if you it may have been prepared by the students, but it was in exchange for money. We find this a few chapters will do things for payment. So if you're getting paid, you don't get quite as many points as you would if it was completely volunteer. So you go in and start entering things in here. Let's again say 3/30/2020. We did something. And please enter more details. It was announced beforehand. That's 3 points for that. We had, let's say, all 25 members showed up and 100 guests showed up to this thing. It was some kind of public event. And it was put on by the students. Enter yes. Got 138 points for that one thing alone. Oh, then we had a summary follow-up. Summary went out, that's 2 points. 140 points, go back to certification letter, the purple tab here. That one event, because it had so many guests, that one event met our requirement for the student organization events, and it turned green for us. Industry involvement, let me try to get this one close. I think they turn yellow when you're within like 10%. Normally, like it says here, you can transfer 10% of your points. If you're way over like we are here and just a little bit under in one area, you can transfer 10% of your points. Again, this year the points don't matter. Just submit something we know that COVID has screwed up. A lot of events, we just want to know that you are doing your best to make things work this year. So industry involvement, again, we're going to enter the date and something or other happened. Number of members, let's say it was 5 members. Enter their names here, and we get 2 points. Let's go to, let's say 5. Let's go over here. It was an industry event at 10 points each. You get 50 points for that. Come back to certification letter. We're still 20 points under. Okay, it's still red. Still 20 points under. Let's go back and boost. Let's say it was 6 members at 60 points. We're still 10 points under. Looking for a way to get it close, but not exactly 70. Let's go. Let's go 34 members. This thing, 2 points each at the online IT conference. And the industry events are intended to get students out, working with professional chapter, local professional chapter, going to technology related events, kind of stuff. So that gives us 68 points. That should be about right. Yeah, so it turns pink. And 97% to your goal, you're not quite there. In that case, you could use this clause to transfer some of these points over to industry events. It's a one-time, one application policy there. But again, this year, no minimums. Don't worry about the points. But I just want you to be aware how it works for in the future when we go back to actually requiring minimums. And again, you can see these are easy to get. It's just getting all categories is usually the challenge. Public speaking, as you know, I believe most universities, the students tend to be introverts. The technology-related students tend to be introverts. So getting them out, speaking, the best way to improve is to do it some more. So we want them to be practicing those skills. Any opportunity, and I seek opportunities. When I need a student to speak to alumni, it's always an AIP member. So we get these points. So members speaking to classes or student groups about membership recruitment, members speaking before their own student organization. If a student puts on conducts the content, teaches the rest of the students something for one of the meetings, 5 points for that. Members speaking to other student groups about technology-related topics, and students who are speaking to an audience of professionals or alumni get 10 points. So again, just enter someone spoke someplace. It was one student with their name. Let's say it was over here speaking to like the alumni advisory board. 10 points. Come back to certification letter. We still need 2 more of those to get up to a total of 30 minimum points. Okay, so it's not for any year you can get there. It just puts a little more focus on the officers and members to think about how do we build these points. Each category is not difficult. It's just getting all the categories together. And then the online presence, doesn't look like the other sheets. It's just making sure things are done. Some of the bookkeeping is done. Any newsprint, that kind of thing, that's really sort of bonus points if you ask me. We don't get a lot of newsprint, but things like student organization website actually works. The advisor's name is posted, the officer's names are posted, student members are identified on the website, and you get points for all these things. Just list when it was last updated, make sure it was last updated within the award year, obviously. And then links to industry content. You know, if you find a job posting, if you find an interesting article about the job market, put it in there. If this isn't enough spaces for what you need to include, there is an open page back here at the end. And all these cells are open. This page is for anything else you need to add, any weird stuff that came up. And then the special projects tab, once in a while you get something really strange and it doesn't quite fit the spreadsheet. Go ahead and describe it here. We're asking the chapter advisors, this is very rare, I've never used this page. I've been filling these out for, well, back when it was AITP, I've been filling out for about like 12 or 15 years now. Never had to use this page. We're asking chapter advisors to suggest a point value, and then the judges will approve or modify from there. But give a nice full explanation. You know, we did this weird thing, had this one-time opportunity to do an amazing thing, whatever it was, or it might be a small thing, but everybody was included. So whatever it was, enter it here. And as you see, the points will generate themselves over here as you fill in the spreadsheets. And that's really all there is. In a normal year, once you got everything green, you're good, at least for the model chapter. Models chapters just meet that benchmark. The premier chapters have gone way above and beyond and have really proven themselves. There's no, the judges have no maximum number of premier chapters. It's at their discretion if they feel like. Last year there were 5 that were premier chapters that went way above and beyond. That's the judge's call. And then if there is a chapter that really warrants national chapter award, that's the judge's call as well. But at least send this thing in, and it's nice to be able to go to your dean and say, hey, we're an award-winning chapter and we're going back this year to the conference. Normally this will be due end of January, and the award will be presented in the spring conference, at the conference. So you literally can say we're going back to pick up our award. This year, with everything so topsy-turvy, the application is due April 15th, and the award will be mailed to you probably sometime in May. But we wanted, this is just a strange year. Normally, end of January, the application is due, and it's presented at the conference in April. So any questions? Let me stop sharing that. We're back. So any questions? It really is a pretty simple process. Just get in on time, and I know April 15th is tax day. I'm hoping that you're not like me and waiting till the last minute on your taxes. Any other questions? Again, I find it very, very helpful in guiding chapter operations. I let the students do whatever they want, but it gives me a chance to say, you know, that's not worth points and this is, or we're doing this thing, get more people to show up, we get more points for more people, or encouragement to do some public speaking. It really does help guide some chapter operations that way. And it helps in asking for a little extra money from the dean to say, we won last year and we're going back to pick up our award again this year. Other questions? All right, well, if no questions, that's all I really have to present.